Yeah, what were you saying?
I said the top G of what?
Oh no!
What is Tate? The top G of what? The question. Stop. These people say you're the top G. The top G of what? Can we get a rundown first? An introduction?
I'm back at the right time. Hopefully I don't have any internet issues. It seems for some reason my internet's a bit slow, so let me know if it cuts in and out.
Broke internet.
Yeah, top G of broke internet.
Mods, do predictions. Who's gonna win? XQC.
Well, I don't really feel, my friend, like I'm compelled to justify myself to you. If I
start with introductions first. Where are you from? What country?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh shit.
This whole panel feels strange. I don't know.
I'm trying to pinpoint the accent.
The energy is tense.
Yeah,
it's South African.
It's kind of like I've walked into a police interview. You know, it's weird.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said to Aiden, I said, be careful when you bring him in. He might feel like he's getting ambushed.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because obviously Twitch is an online community, right? But I live in the real world. I'm not from this internet world. And in the real world, you talk to people, especially people who can destroy you, with respect. You say, "Oh, Andrew, can you please introduce yourself?" You don't come and say, "Hey, bro," it's just an internet. It's weird.
Wait, what do you mean by destroy? Like, what do you mean by
like beat his ass or like
if you
mentally destroy?
Men go through life and talk to each other with respect. I think that's how men interact with each other.
But in my opinion, wouldn't you say that a respect between two men would be not making me be formal and you would just understand what I mean, right? You just get what I mean, right? When I say, "Yo, man, where are you from?" Like, you're going to say, "Hello, sir. Can you please tell me where you're from, sir?" Is that what you need?
No, I think that being polite and being formal is something you do.
I was being polite. I softened my voice and I said, "Hey, man, where are you from?" Try and pinpoint the accent.
Okay, well, that's not how it sounded. It said, "Hey, stop! Tell me where you're from." So
I have a deep voice, so people take it the wrong way very often.
Yeah, it's a thing. He gets people getting real mad at him for that.
Just some advice for the real world. Anyway,
I have 1 foot in the real world, brother.
Only one?
Only one. 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I'm half British, and I am half American. That's why the accent is.
It's like South American.
No. American.
Bro, chat, chill,
okay,
bro.
So
I'm
you were
not kicking train, in America. Bro.
I was born in the United Kingdom, but I've been back and forth between the two countries my whole life.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's the introduction. Andrew Tate is my name, everybody. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I'm Felix. He called me X.
Okay, Felix.
My name's Tyler. You can call me Train.
I'm Silky. Just Silky.
Okay.
I'm also American.
Remember everything. So Aiden messaged me and said, "Andrew, quickly wake up. Someone disagrees with you." That's what
Okay, good introduction because that's it. That's how it is.
Who disagrees with me and on what?
I think at least me. I think I disagree with most things, but I don't know about Train though. I don't think he knows you that much. All I saw was a couple clips of you, and I didn't want to like Wikipedia whole search. I wanted to take the arguments and the takes for what they are, and not like where they come from or whatever. Just straight up face value. That's what you get.
You have something specific you disagree with me on?
Oh yeah, most of your women takes are bad.
Yeah, but you have to be specific because the burden of proof is on you. So.
Oh no, literally most of them.
Oh yeah, but you can't say literally most of them. This is a court of law, my friend. We have a judging panel and everything. You have to come along with the take that you disagree with and give your argument as to why it's not true. You can't just say
woman can't drive.
Woman can't drive was one of them. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
So you don't think that men are overall better drivers than women?
No.
So when you see the worst parking you've ever seen in your life, you don't think it's more likely to be a female? It's just as equally likely to be a man in your view.
Crazy, bro.
When I see oh yeah, exactly what you just said. Yes.
Then that's your opinion. What's the argument?
Like I said, it doesn't have to be an opinion, right? That's your anecdotal evidence, which is like kind of a bias, right? When you want to bring out things like women can't drive, you're going to go with stats, and your stats are off. You're just wrong about them.
No, everyone is. Firstly, when you talk about biases, absolutely everybody is biased to their own personal experiences, right? If I had been in 5 car crashes and all 5 of them were driven by women by coincidence, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to believe that women are less capable.
So and then because fair enough.
You sit here and pretend you're not biased and you're beyond biases is bullshit. That's the first thing.
Okay.
We're all biased.
Okay, and then like a natural, good, educated human being, you're probably going to go on the internet and find some study that maybe you're right about it, and then you're going to figure out that you're wrong.
Study. Oh yeah, the internet study. Oh, why didn't I think of just following the internet study and not?
You're right, because we could have gone fucking Tate's experience instead.
Why don't I ignore all my own personal experience and obey the internet study and get my 5th injection and just do everything the internet says?
You're right.
My personal experiences, females are not as capable of driving as males. That's my personal experience. You can't come along and tell me that's not true. So, and I don't give a shit. Study. So
the next time we have a problem with science or some shit or physics, why go to the internet or talk to some experts? Let's go ask Tate's experience on it, and we'll have the answer to it, right? Sorry, no insults. Now I got unhinged. Sorry for that.
It's fine. That's what Twitch does to people.
I'll give you that one. That's pretty true.
Conversation would be very different in person.
Well, that part's not true for me at least.
But that's fine. That's the internet. Well, my personal experiences dictate to me, as all of your personal experiences dictate to you, certain realities about the earth. And in my personal experience, every car crash I've been in, every time my car's been hit, the worst parking I've ever seen has always been by a female. Now, I'm not saying females are bad people. I'm saying they're better than men at other things.
Okay.
Men have, if you want to talk about internet studies, because you seem to believe internet studies for some reason, even though you can give me lies, you can give me big lies, you can give me statistics.
Don't dish Gallups. They're one topic at a time.
No, studies are the biggest lies on earth. But if you want to talk about studies, it's been proven that females do not have the same kind of spatial awareness that men have. They do not have the reaction times that men have. They've not evolved. This has been studied and found. You want to talk about studies?
And yet males cause more crash accidents on the road than women.
Cool. So we have
they have less tools to you and studies. Yet they cause more accidents, but according to your experience, they cause more accidents. So you're right. So you are right.
Correct. And we have studies that conflict. And in my personal experience, I feel safer when a man is driving me than if a woman is driving me. That's my personal experience. If you want to sit here hoping that if you keep saying women can drive, you might get a girl, that's your decision. But in my personal experiences, that's not the case. I don't know why we're going to sit here and argue about it.
Perfect. Then in that case, then what you're saying is that since you're such a smart being, if you go to the casino and there's 60% red squares and 40% black ones, right? 60-40, you should bet on the 40% black ones because that's how you're going to make money. According to your analysis of these stats, right?
I don't truly understand the analogy.
And it's simple. It's very simple. Like I just said, according to your interpretation
I didn't get it
of
either,
the stats
chat,
on the internet or whatever, right? You would bet on the 40% outcome instead of 60%. And you're saying this is a good bet.
Oh, bro, I know, and I mean this with respect. I know the internet is your life, right? I don't use the internet for stats when I get into a car with a bitch. I don't go and go, okay, well, she's blonde. Let me look up the blonde chicks. Can they drive? Da-da. I get in a car and I look at her driving and go, and this bitch can't drive. That's what I do, right? And any man who's honest with himself has been in the car with a chick who's driving on some wild ass, crazy, texting on her phone, risking everyone's life. Every man knows I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
I know you can't say it. Okay. You don't want to get canceled, blah, blah, blah. You just sit here and say, when you get in a car with a girl, you look up an internet study first. Shut up. What are you talking about?
Bro, what are you talking about? A bad driver on the road that you can see is a bad driver. I don't give a fuck if they're old, if they're missing both fucking hands, if they're a guy, if they're white, they're black. I don't give a fuck. That person can't fucking drive. They can't fucking drive. I don't say, oh, I'm gonna go to the study, or I'm gonna do this with Andrew Tate. They can't fucking drive. Let me break a little bit and fucking change lane, yo. You know, I don't have a license, but yeah.
I'm going to interject real quick into this one-on-one here, okay? Do all of you guys remember the example I gave about real life or like the real world versus the internet world?
Yeah.
Well, the example I gave about the word slut. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
I think I had that take exactly on point. In the real world, like, I think when Andrew says what he's saying, right? Like, you know, the people get around like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, right? But in the internet world, everyone's very, 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 they're very exact, right? So when Andrew says women are bad drivers, the internet assumes that he's saying all women are bad drivers, women are terrible, women are fucking less than, right? So it just depends here. Are you talking like the real world talking where we understand what you're saying? Like when a rapper says all these girls are hoes, right? We know he's not saying all women are hoes. We know what he's talking about. When you go party, that one chick that's sleeping with all the dudes is a hoe, right? We get that comparison, but we know he's not saying that. So the real question here is, are you talking with the context of the real world only, where you're kind of just making that generalization, but you don't actually mean the generalization? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or are you actually a sexist? That's what the question is.
That's a very good question, and it's very professionally asked. So I like the way you've asked it. It's very professional.
Thank you.
No, you're completely and utterly correct. The way the rapper says all women are hoes is an absolutely perfect analogy. I'm not saying there's not a female on the planet who can't drive a car. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in general, if every man was honest with himself, if he were to ask him, what's the worst driving you've ever seen? What's the most uncomfortable you've ever been in a car? What's the worst parking you've ever seen? What if you were to ask him and he was honest and he wasn't on the internet worried about getting canceled or trying to be correct or looking up statistics or any dumb shit, he'd probably say, I was in the car with this chick once and she nearly killed me. That is not saying women are bad creatures. I'm not saying all women drive that way. It doesn't mean that I don't think females should have a right to drive, etc. I'm saying in general, I think that men have faster reaction times. We are more interested in cars. We enjoy driving more. We pay more attention than women do. That is my experience.
So to hop in real quick, okay, the reason I could kind of predict that, Aiden and everyone else in here, is because I went through the same thing. I came from the real world, okay, and I had the 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing. It's why the people I got along with most were Call of Duty players, right? Because they had the same experiences as me. We partied, we went out, we had the college life, we had the club life, and we gamed, right? So I understood that lingo, but I got in a lot of trouble for it, right? If you look at my speeches, I got banned. People said I'm sexist, misogynistic, because I spoke in that exact way. I assumed people were intelligent enough to understand the context in which I was saying these things. But the internet is not like that. The internet applies the worst.
You're fighting ghosts. You're fighting ghosts. Nobody's saying that right now. We're not in that right now. We're talking. Like,
this is why I could predict that he is talking in the real world on the internet. That's the issue. That's the disconnect.
You know, Train, I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna say, you know whose fault that is? That is your fucking fault. I know why? Because you are a bad communicator. If you can't communicate your thought properly, so people understand it for what it is,
now I
then
can.
you are lacking skill in communication to make your point what it actually is. That is your problem.
Real quick.
Talk
about Tate.
Real quick. I want to respond to that. Then take and go in. Okay. X, as you know now, I communicate very well. Now, when I make my speeches or when I make my points, I don't just explain the real world side. I explain the 1,700 different possible worlds it could be analyzed in, it could be perceived as, it could be perceived in. I explain it in every way possible because I have a platform now on the internet. So now I've become a better communicator, and I explain in every context. So yeah, that's my point is right now Tate is in his, it's the inception of it, right, on the internet from the real world. So
then tell him how he is. Then tell him how it is. Say, Tate, I think you are a bad communicator of your takes, and you are bad at dialogue. It's not
a bad communicator.
Tell him. Fucking tell him then.
X, it's not a bad communicator. What it is it's an unawareness of the internet type of person. You understand? When you're never on the internet, you don't know. Like, I didn't know people like this existed. You understand? I didn't know they existed. So you can't fathom to even have the possible world to explain something in a way.
Okay. Or maybe he is aware, but he just doesn't give a fuck.
Okay.
Maybe that's the case.
Then, Trent, if you make a statement and you say women can't drive, okay, it doesn't matter what your audience is, right? It is a blanket statement.
Have you seen Nick Pullum's poll? Nick Pullum's poll on Funniest Streamer. Do you know why that is? Because when I'm in person, I make jokes like that. I go, must be a woman driver that caused that accident. I make jokes like that. Do I think all women? No, women are better drivers than I am. I'm a shit driver as a man.
These are joking contexts, yeah. But if you make a statement that you're serious,
that's why I'm asking. Is he just making that generalized kind of stereotypical joke, or is he truly a sexist? That's what I'm asking. I asked him. He said no. He said he's not a sexist. He's making that generalized joke statement.
Okay. Then when you don't have a dialogue with somebody and it's a monologue and you're alone and you go on camera and you say, women can't drive it without no precision, without no saying, oh, exception is exception, without going down the list of why it's a joke, whatever the fuck. You think it's a good thing? You think you're being a good communicator? You say women cannot drive. End segment.
Wrong. No, here's the part.
Does he own that?
Wait. I got to respond to this. He's talking to me. I have a responsibility. Just trust me here. I apologize for interrupting you, but just hear me out here, okay? X. Yeah, I believe. Listen. I don't think he has the experience on the internet yet to understand why he is in the wrong to make. I think there's a dramatization, right? I think he is intelligent and is aware of what he's doing. It's a dramatization for these dumb fucks in the chat that sit there and say, fuck yeah, 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 yeah. It's a dramatization factor.
Okay,
That's
okay,
all
hey,
it
Train,
is.
let's run an
So
exercise.
for that, I think it's
Say a statement
wrong.
like that, but instead replace.
For that, I think it's wrong.
Hey, Train.
For that, I agree with you, X.
Okay. Then if you're ready to prove your own point, then right about the severity of it, how about you make a same statement about, for the same topic or another one about black people? Go ahead, do it now. Do it.
But why would we do that?
I made that point earlier. I made that point earlier about the consistency argument.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if it's not bad because it's a joke because it's
I didn't say it's not
it's
bad.
a woman joke.
I said the dramatization of the too far jokes is for the dramatization to get people in. And I said that part is wrong. And I do have a consistency. You ask Nick Poland, in front of him, I make those jokes. I make all kinds of jokes about everything and everyone. Believe that. You ask Nick Poland, he'll go live right now and say I do. I do.
X, why don't you ask Tate if you would say that about a race or something like that? A generalization like that
Facts,
about a
Rage.
joke
Take
about
over,
a race
Rage.
or ethnicity
Rage
or
is
something.
being an alpha right now.
Hey, listen.
Could have asked me now.
Let's understand my
Good
ethnicity.
question.
Let him talk.
So I'm half black, half white, right? That's my ethnicity.
Wait,
so we
he
understand
is?
my ethnicity.
I
I made a joke an hour ago with one of my cousins because half my family's black, half my cousin's white, and he said he wanted to go free diving. It's where you dive down in the water and you go deep with no scuba equipment with the sharks or some shit. And I said, bro, that's what white people do. That shit. I'm too brown for that. I'm not going with the sharks. I just made a joke. There. Oh no, cancel me. Who gives a fuck? When I make a statement, bro, listen, when I make a statement, maybe you do, maybe you have all the fucking time in the world to sit on the internet, my friend. But when I make a statement, I don't have time to say, in my personal experience, I don't believe women can drive. However, I understand that some women can drive, and I'm not saying all women can't drive, and I know women who can drive, but in my personal experience, the bad driving I've seen was most likely committed by women. That I don't talk like a fucking geek. I say women can't drive. Now, if that upsets geeks like you, cool, whatever. Because geeks, I don't give a fuck. That's what I say. If it upsets people, tough. That's my personal experience. You're gonna have to get the fuck over it. That's life. And if you want to say I'm a bad communicator, once again, that's your prerogative. But I would disagree. I think I'm very good at communicating. It's the only reason I'm even fucking here. It's the only reason I'm even on the internet. It's because when I talk, people listen. So I must be doing something right.
I mean, it's easy to talk whistle to fucking misogynist. That's really easy. It's one of the easiest things out there. Preaching to the choir, that's so easy to get a following doing that. Hey, you hate women on these points and these points. It's gonna be easy to stack them up like fucking easy. Holy shit! I built a fucking world of a community based on being toxic. It's the easiest thing in the world. Way easier than being good and being nice. I'm
a very good, nice person.
Surely.
By saying that, I think that men are more capable of driving than women. It does not make me a bad person or a not nice person. It means that if I car and it's snowing and it's late at night and it's dark, I'm gonna drive. I'm not gonna let some 18-year-old chick drive. I'm gonna fucking drive because I like staying alive. And let me tell you something.
Funny you bring that up because last time you talked about car accidents or whatever, and then you brought stats. You said that well it's because the males make doing more accidents because they're young, right? So even if your own example, right, you would actually prefer having a young female driver, not a young male, according to you. That's what you said last time on the fucking podcast. Then it is exactly what you said. I'm using your words against you. You said that, oh yeah, males do more crashes when you're young because they're young and excited, whatever. You just said, I wouldn't let a young girl drive my car. Then you would let.
Okay, old girl.
I'm just saying, be consistent about it.
Listen, let me tell you something, my friend. There's a cognitive dissonance. There's some serious damage that the internet's doing to society. I spoke about it on ADIN ROSS on his podcast, and I spoke about how the internet as a whole has changed the world. I'm old enough to see it. And one of the ways it's changed the world is when there are certain beliefs, there are certain paradigms which are not allowed to be punctured, certain parameters which are set by the matrix in which you must pretend certain things are true. People ignore their own eyes and their own ears because they are afraid of upsetting the matrix. And my point is that a person like you, and I mean this with respect, I'm not here to argue with you, this is a professional debate. A person like you whose entire income, personality, his importance, his ego, everything relies on a Twitch account. If you lose it, you ain't shit. If you lose it, you ain't shit. And the problem is that you could be in 10 car crashes driven by 10 different women, and you will still not come here and say women can't drive as well as men because you are afraid. You are not non-biased. You are sitting here inside of parameters that you must conform to or you don't exist. I don't give a fuck. That's the difference between you and me. That's why I say things other people don't.
I don't know what it means, the last part. I mean, you talk about the matrix and the systems or whatever the fuck, but the only reason why you're relevant or cool in the real world is because you have money. talk about the matrix, the fucking currency, and you think you're the top G because of that, and it makes you more important than other people who have value to society.
I'm not only the top G because I have money. In fact, I think I talked about this with ADIN ROSS as well. I talked about how money is an amplifier. Money alone will not make you significant or important. I talked about how money will amplify. I was the before I was rich. I was the man before I was rich, and then I got rich on top. That's what it's amplified me. That's all it's done. It hasn't changed who I am. There's plenty of people with lots of money who ain't shit.
Okay, so because of the vehicle of my message is Twitch, it's devalidated.
It's not that it's devalidated at all, my friend. I think that Twitch is a fantastic. And you're meeting lots and lots of people, and I'm here on Twitch as well myself. My point is that you exist inside of parameters. The people who rely on the system will always fight to defend the system. The parameters are set in a way in which you cannot be completely and utterly honest, even if your personal experience tells you so. We don't even have to talk about driving. We can talk about anything. We can talk about the last 3 years where you walked around and didn't see a single sick person, and you had to pretend that you were supposed to be scared inside of your house because the parameters have told you if you say anything else, you lose your entire life. And your life is online. This is the reality. Not most people are not allowed to say what they think.
Okay, this works both ways though. It's not because you have harsher takes and crazier takes that this doesn't apply to you. I feel like you preach to the choir to fucking incels. Literally, that's like your bread and butter.
Wait, isn't that TOS chat?
So by extent, you try not to go against these opinions because you're gonna lose these people. Like that's just how it is.
So that's an interesting point of view, and we'll go into it in a second. But first things first, I want to clarify because, as I said, I'm a professional, and this is a professional debate. My takes are not harsh or extreme. Every single man, every single sports club, every single football team, every single group of men sitting around having a drink will make a joke about how women can't drive. Every single fucking one. So to sit here and pretend I have some extreme view is bullshit. It may be extreme on the internet where people are afraid.
I broke internet, just lagged out.
Fuck. Oh my god, this is getting really good too. Hold on. I'm gonna say internet.
Yo, X, how you feeling during this?